This is the second part of this year's video about printing Christmas cards, all with the same self-made foam rubber stamp of a Christmas tree, and stencils, fabric, and cling film. Today I'm showing you the working out process of the cards. Hello Gelli fans! That foam rubber stamp I made gave me quite a variety of beautiful prints, but they have to be worked out some more. If you've missed the first part about the printing process, here is the link. You might want to watch that first. And here is a link to the playlist of all the Christmas cards videos I made, if you're looking for further inspiration. I'm starting with the one that I like the most of all the prints, because I made a little mistake and it got pretty wild, and now it turns out to be really interesting. That stuff you see there in the background that looks like writing, that is actually a stencil. It's not a real writing, but it just reminds you of that. So I'm working this out with a burnt umber colored pencil. Here I'm trying to find the original shape. Here you can see my stamp again. And now I'm using a lighter brown, that's the color Nougat, one of my favorites. I'm giving that tree a little bit of a shape by giving it shadows. Light coming from top left, so shadows only to the right side and the underside. I want a little bit of a darker outline, so I'm also employing the black pencil. Now that star is barely visible, so that has to get an outline first. And then I'm thinking about what color should it be. You know, I'm a very monochrome type person, but I thought a little color in this would do good. I thought red, pink, and I decided for the purple, because that's not too loud. And some highlights on the top and the left sides of the star. Correcting a little bit, there was a little too much shade there, and some shade for the star, another outline. And also this foam stamp that you see here on the left, and the paint, they gave me some of these nice structures, which I call decalcomania, and every time that appears I'm so happy, and I have to work it all out. I love these little things, these little details. And the shapes that the stencil gave me, I'm using a little more brown to make their own shadows so that they appear to be a little round. Always remember, shadows only to the lower side and to the right. And I'm also working on some of these outside the trees, but I'm not giving them these the same structures. I want them to differ from the inside of the tree. And I'm doing quite some working on that on the right side, but on the left side, as you can see, that part is so interesting and that I don't want to work so much out. And I want to come in with some nice pearl acrylics. It's Christmas, so I love this series, and you only need just a little bit, so they're not that expensive because they've lasted me for years already. I always use them. It's like you don't really see it when it's on there, but when you turn the card a little bit, it's shining. So this is obviously a purple tone, which goes just perfect with the purple pencil underneath. And just for the season, My dog is chewing on a bone very loudly, just for you. I'm giving you some baubles here. As I learned from the last video, they're not called Christmas balls, but Christmas baubles. Anyway, it's Christmas, so I have to do this. I'm a little sad because I don't want to ruin this very special feeling with the writing. But that's exactly why the very subtle, shiny pearl colors are so nice, because they retreat to the background. Can you see them shining when I move the paper? Beautiful. I always give my cards an outline, a rim, and in this case I'm leaving out the Christmas tree opening. And this is just how do you say, intuition. And I only give these cards shadows to the right and to the lower side. So very subtle, not too much. But it's like, it's so obvious with the jelly print style that it works fine. And I'm cutting this out with my surgical knife, which works the best, I think, but please be careful. They're really sharp. And I'm just leaving quite a fine rim of the white paper. And then also I am rounding the edges. And I might afterwards glue it on a colored paper. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I leave them as they are. Then I decide that these baubles are too graphic for my liking, and I give them a little body, just with a little bit of shadow. And now I better leave it like that. Don't want to overwork it. How do you like it? Like I said, it's my favorite of this one, of this video session. Now this was my first print. The black and white, I usually start testing with black and white. I mean, just with black. And this one gave me a lot of resist. Interesting. Also the star up there, look at that. It's outside the card. That's funny, but I can cut around it, and it's just an interesting shape. And there must have been some water on the gel plate when I used it. Or yeah, some fluid stuff that made these effects. So that was totally different. And now I'm following the cling film lines, giving those shadows so that they appear to be like the branches of the tree, maybe. And all those little dots, I have to work out at least some of them. If you have tons of time, you can just circle around every dot in this one, if you're crazy masochistic enough. This one I want to leave, the outside I want to leave pretty much as it is. I'm only working on the inside of the tree. So there's more baubles, and I'm hiding them partly behind the branches. I thought that was a great idea. Is it a great idea? Yeah, it's a great idea. I think nothing works better to a black and white print than a bold, strong red, which you can see here. I think it's fantastic. I'm giving the baubles different sizes. Smaller ones up there and the larger ones down there. And some very subtle black outlines. And now for the star. I'm giving it only just a light red, but then I'm actually making it a little stronger. And the tree tangles around the star as well, so those tangles have to get shadows. It's funny, sometimes during the printing, sometimes I don't get the edges of the frame, I don't press too hard in them. And so you have those pieces missing there, like here on the left and a little bit on the right. But that goes just to strengthen the very interesting shape of the whole thing. And in this case, I'm going all around with the black pen. See where the openings of the branches are? I leave it open. It's just all a little irregular. So no shine or sparkle for this one. It's for the more decent Christmas fans, I would say. Now for the fluffy puffy Christmas tree I made. And you can see there's absolutely no star that was left there from the print. So I'm inventing one. And there's also a little smear up there, which already tells me I have to cut this out at the top there. And I'm giving the usual outline and some more shades to the lower parts and to the right parts. And no trunk for this tree. I want to leave it as is. What's so nice about the cling film is you can let it go into the tree a little bit or fill the whole tree with it, or you just work out the outside. Baubles, of course. Yeah, I need a good shape again. I'm speeding this up because some things are just repeating themselves. Now the pearl colors. This is a blue. Of course, if you have a brown image, blue is always the best thing as a contrast, as a complementary color, I should say. And the baubles have the same color as well. And I'm working out some of these structures, but not all of them. Oh, almost all of them. The fluffy cloud shapes, I want to enhance them a little bit, because it would just be too boring otherwise. This came because I was not satisfied with the print inside the tree, and I just took a baby wipe and wiped around, and this is what it became. And yeah, it's not a very strong texture. Maybe I should exaggerate that a little bit. And with an indigo pencil, I give the baubles some shadows. And now the outline. Same, but always different. I don't know why, but this is so much. It's so satisfying to do this. So this one I'm gonna cut out right at the borders that I made because of the smearing up there by the star. That's pretty easy. So this is the fluffy puffy tree with its sharp patterns of the cling film. So this is the other print where I used the writing stencil in a different way. And I printed on a white tree that didn't look good. I printed on another green-brown tree that didn't look so good. So this one is not really that promising. I think it's the worst of the ones. Also, I don't like those blue clumps I made there. But this year, these patterns, I'm turning them in there, in this structure a little bit, because I want to make a moon there, because it looks so round. Yeah, trying to get the round shape with the stencil, and then just filling in it with white. And look at that star. I mean, even a 5-year-old would be so ashamed of that one. This is really not the best of my works, but I want to show you the fails also. This tree gets a trunk and some more dark shadows for the branches. I'm coming in with a fabric marker for highlights, but it's not strong enough. So I'm using this Jelly Roll fine liner to distract from the horrible motif itself. Yeah, and some shadows for the baubles. Okay, I can use this one. I didn't expect to, but it's okay. Some more highlights for the branches. That does it in the end. That makes it almost beautiful. The rim with the indigo blue. And I leave a little bit of white around it. It's okay, I think. Now this is a real special one. I printed the tree with the help of some fabric that I bought that has this wonderful pattern. I used it for a river as well. And in the back I have an even better piece of fabric that has these very subtle, very light tree branches. And they work together just fine. And they're so different from the other prints I made. So I'm just starting with the outline of the tree. And don't want it to be one straight stroke, but just to fill in some lines there. And there's a little bird sitting here, as the star again didn't show really. So there's a bird. This will go to my neighbor who loves birds. So I'm working on these tree branches, or what they are. It's a wonderful soft tissue fabric. I'm going to use it a lot in the future, I think, for dreamy landscapes. And I find that the shadows on the left side, I made them a little too harsh. So I'm going a bit lower on the blue, on the dark blue here. And as the color goes lighter, I let it fade out a bit. Don't overwork this, I'm telling myself. I usually do. And I switched to green down here, but there's not much more I can tell of those branches, so just a little bit. The bird, I'm drawing it white first to put a pearl color on it. There's a little bit of red tone in the background, so I chose the red pearl color. No, it's not going to stay like this. I don't have to draw in the baubles because that fabric offers me plenty. So I draw them green a little bit with shadow first, And then I go over it with a pearl color in green. And I love it. Aren't those the greatest Christmas baubles you've ever seen? Well, usually the tree itself is green, not the baubles. Now that the pearl paint has dried, I'm coming in with a little red pencil, which looks quite shitty on that pearl paint. Didn't work so good, but whatever. And giving it a nice outline. And it's all shimmering nicely. Have to give the bird a little more shine though. What do you think of this one? I think it's quite cute with the subtle colors and the soft tissue of the cloth. This one is very simple, and I'm going to leave it blue in blue, and I really sped this up and cut this short because I've shown you all these techniques before. And a very nice impression of the cling film here. And I'm using that, of course. And I think the inside of the tree was yet another piece of fabric. That doesn't work so well, but you can see some texture. So that's this one. You can see a really simple thing, but it makes a good impression, I think. I quite like it. And now for the red ones. I made two, but I'm only showing you how I worked out one of the reds, because this video is getting too long again. You can't see it, but this is the Liquitex golden iridescent medium, and I mixed it with a little bit of opaque white and water, and then I sprinkled it on with my brush. You just put the brush on top and then you slightly tap it, not more. So I have my snowflakes here. And this is why I don't want to do any baubles on this one. Yes, snowflakes do cast a shadow as well. I think what makes this one really interesting is that it's one of the last I printed, and everything is so worn out, and the way the yellow is up there for the star, and the way that the cling film picked up a lot of the paint and left white scratches. I think that's actually very interesting. Here you can see the stamp effect again with the triangular shapes that have a little gap between them for some interest. And a little enhancement of the cling film lines. That does it for me. I cut this out at the very rim again. And here you can see another technique. Just go around with a graphite pen or with a black pencil, as in this case, and make a shabby outline, vintagey. Here I'm trying to get rid of those help lines I made, because I made the lines with a liner on the foam, and the bad thing was it printed. It's okay now. And look what I'm doing now. Isn't this horrible? I'm sort of kitschying it. Very tacky. But this one is going to be for a toddler. So I think in that case it is okay. And even the star has a little heart. And this is kitschy as kitsch can be. Well, it's Christmas. And just showing you briefly what I did with the other red and yellow one. I like this one too. Has a little more texture in the back, a little more movement. And this is the last one in this video. I like it because it's very simple and, you know, I'm the monochrome type. And here you can also see the mistake I made with putting those fine liner lines on the foam stamp. I should have glued the foam the other way around. Anyway, this has a lot of texture, so that's not so bad. It's not annoying me in this case. And I'm coming in with the blue again for the brown, of course. Actually, I really like this a lot. The star is nice. Oh, what the hell. I like them all. So this is it. And this is it for today. I made quite a few prints and I had a lot of work with the editing and the synchronizing of this video. And I'm quite happy, and I'm happy I do everything in time. But I still made another video with this foam stamp with etching inks. And I just can't wait. I have to show you those as well. And I have, I think, until Sunday or Monday, so you could still have inspiration from this. I made it with the foam rubber, and the background is a tile that printed very nicely. So that's what's coming up next in a few days. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Bye.